There are way more trolls in the Dodoverse than I thought until actually trying to dig them all up, and they might actually be spread out even more evenly across the globe than the Kinfolk. But that depends on your definition of trolls and what you accept as within the term. So let's identify what makes a troll and go through their biology, culture, and history. Compared to humans, trolls have long limbs with a varying amount of fingers, anything from 5 to 4 and even 3, but 4 seems to be the most common. Their noses are often big and round, pointing downwards or very flat, and their ears are, without exceptions, pointy. The ear shape is pretty much the only thing they all have in common, because their skin tones are, like most other kinds, very diverse. Specimens we know of consist of blue, green, yellow, red, pink, and purple skin. They often have tusks, or elongated lower canine teeth. They seem to possess a relatively high intelligence and live in tribes. Some of them are religious, some use magic, and some live under a matriarch. I have placed them between humans and Aglodi on my grid. Trolls seem to not be very well liked by other kinds. The Kinfolk of Knollen have shot at them, and some Aglodi have been hunting them. And that may have to do with the fact that they still live pretty primitively, despite their high intelligence. They don't have any huge advanced civilizations like the Keen, humans, and Aglodi, and from troll tribe to troll tribe, they don't seem to even respect each other. In the Dodoverse, trolls and humans actually have a lot in common, and one of those things is that they are both incredibly far spread out geographically. You have the subterranean trolls of the Haven, the yellow hill trolls of the Bleeding Hills, an unknown kind in the mountainous Knollen, a tribe in the Yamarusk jungle, a strange kind in the island highlands of Prefectura, a religious tribe led by the Dozen Order, and lastly, maybe the Ashkovorians were trolls. But the best way to talk about each different tribe is by talking about each hero I have put in the troll category, respectively. First off, there's the Bleeding Hills. They are called the Bleeding Hills because black tar flows down from them into the forest beneath the highland. In these hills, the hill trolls are found. Their colors vary from yellow to green. One hill troll tribe is called the Dark Trolls, and their leader is the Dark Troll Chieftain or Summoner. Jamoy the Wise from Artifact is one such. The Dark Trolls practice necromancy, as you can see happening in the Troll Neutral camp in Dota 2. But while they sometimes raise the dead, as we see from the Troll Soothsayer, they don't like it when others dabble with dark magic. The hill troll magic is very strong, and they especially value their ancestors and prophecy. But they are also capable fighters. One hill troll you may not expect is Shadow Shaman. He was born in the Bleeding Hills half troll, and was later picked up by a traveling conman. He worked as his exotic assistant, and together they scammed people with fortune-telling and curses. But soon, they discovered that Shadow Shaman was actually capable of such things, without having to trick anyone. They traveled from town to town, earning a reputation and making a lot of money. But eventually, a mob of angry customers from back when they were cheating attacked them and slew Shadow Shaman's master. In a fit of rage, Shadow Shaman for the first time used his powers for violence and killed the mob. And now, he travels around using his powers against his enemies. So I told you that the Bleeding Hills have black tar running down them into the forest beneath them. This forest is called the Haven, and the Haven hosts a different type of troll, a subterranean, matriarchal kind. They, ironically, look down on the hill trolls above and think they are inferior. This underground tribe of trolls are very sensitive and hot-headed, and love conflict. They have a matriarch as their leader, but this by no means means female supremacy. The males grow up getting fed and pandered until way past maturity, contributing nothing. And then eventually, they are pushed out to the surface to form gangs with others of their kind and roam the land above. Like I said, this tribe is a very loud, angry, and abrasive one, but one member, who we know as Troll Warlord, was so insufferable that even trolls didn't want to be around him. Kind of like how some Russians search Western European servers because even they don't want to play with Russians. Troll Warlord's gang got pushed to the brink when he demanded too big a portion of their loot, and they turned on him and beat him. But he didn't respect his banishment, so the next day he returned. He returned to kill them all and swore to from this day onwards fight alone as an army of one. Numerous tribes reside in the Yamarusk jungle, and Batrider's tribe is one of them. One day when he was a boy, a huge Mordebat caught him and brought him up to the sky, intending to eat him. But Batrider wriggled his way free and mid-air cut the bat down. This event would change him forever, as he now returned every summer to the same spot, hoping to get to fly again. He went into the jungle over and over until he finally found the cave hosting the bats. With a rope and a bottle of liquid courage, he plunged inside, and the rest is history. The witch doctor is from the island highlands of Prefectura. He is a mysterious figure and physically twisted asymmetrically. Not much else is known about his motivations, aspirations, and backstory, other than that he has traveled far. Dazzle and Huskar are from the same place where the Dazun Order is in charge, and they worship the gods of the Nuthul Realm. The Nuthul Realm is where their people believe the dead go, both their own people and worthy foes. Sacrifices are regularly performed to the Nuthul Realm, since they think life comes from the dimension. Killing your enemies is regarded as sacrifice. Huskar wanted to sacrifice himself by throwing himself in, but Dazzle, a Dazun priest, pulled him out. This made Huskar forever changed into a sacred Dazun warrior, no longer at mortality's mercy. Dazzle, a Dazun Order acolyte, was the youngest to ever request the ritual to go to the Nuthul Realm. And he came back as a shadow priest none of his tribe had ever seen before, with power to both heal and destroy. The title Shadow Priest is a bit misleading, because in the Nuthul Realm, everything is inverted. Thus, darkness is light, and vice versa. So him being a Shadow Priest is like being a priest of light. Or Dazzle, if you will. It is argued whether or not Dazzle and Huskar are trolls, especially with Huskar's new model, and considering that they have both visited the Nuthul Realm, which we know you can't return from unchanged. But I think, considering the way they look, move, talk, and their culture and responses, it's fairly certain that they are another troll tribe from far away, maybe connected to Witch Doctor, Venomancer, and or Bloodseeker. Grimstroke, however, I'm pretty sure is not a troll. When you first look at him, he has 4 fingers, tusks, similar physique and colors as Huskar and Troll Warlord, and is obviously very heavily inspired by the Japanese trolls called Oni. But this is more likely just because when he was going to ascend, which ended up sacrificing his people because of his greed, he turned into something demonic. And the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about demons in Japan, to me at least, is Onis. So his troll appearance is likely something he got after the ritual, and before he looked much different, probably a human with elf ears. If you look at his trailer video, his people also look like they're humans. But because we know that trolls already come from all over the place, I'm still going to include him here just because there's a possibility the Eshkavarians were trolls. Let me know what you think. Lastly, I played with the thought that Clinks is a troll, since he is from the Haven where Troll Warlord is from, and he's a skeleton, so you can't actually easily tell exactly what he is. But considering his horns, I think it's instead fair to say he's a Smeevil. Or something else with horns like that. Doesn't matter. The point is, he is certainly not a troll. Trolls in the Dodoverse are probably heavily based on the troll kind of the Warcraft universe. But in real life, their origin is actually quite different. You have the Japanese demons called Oni, which to me seem kind of like a mix between ogre and troll. In Norse mythology and Scandinavian folklore, the stereotypical troll looks more like this. As a Norwegian, I grew up reading fairy tales about trolls. They are often the antagonist which ends up getting outwitted by the human protagonist. They are generally dumb and ugly, hungry for human flesh, and if exposed to sunlight, they turn to stone. Many Norwegian landmarks, and probably Scandinavian in general, are said to be formed when a troll once turned to stone. One such you may have heard of is the Troll Tongue. If you want to experience some real authentic trolls, I recommend watching the movie The Troll Hunter. It's a critically acclaimed Blair Witch-esque found footage mockumentary about the trolls of Norway. If you're into theatre, I recommend the play Peer Gynt by Ibsen. It features a human man on his adventures, where he, among other things, almost ends up marrying a troll woman. It's also where all the music in this video is from, composed by my boy, Edvard Grieg. So that's it for this video, gamers! And I just like to let you know that from now on, when I make Dota anthropology videos, I will make a poll the day before where you can vote what hero from that anthropology group you want to see, like this. So yesterday I made a poll which troll people wanted, and people voted Dazzle/Witch Doctor. So in case you can't tell, this is my interpretation of a female witch doctor. Don't expect too much, okay? This is what you get. So here you should see all future anthropology videos. I have tried to categorize every single hero within one of these groups. And they will also go in this order because I make them right before A Hero of the Kind, so my next video is gonna be about Batrider, which is why I now made a troll video. Thank you so much for watching and have a magical day. Peace! Huskar wanted to